Aoyama Antiques, a shop where reputation was currency, and one wrong word could destroy it. Yusei stepped inside, cradling a simple ceramic vase behind a mahogany desk. Yuko didn't bother to look up. Her jade necklace glinted under the dim light.
Let me guess. Another inheritance you hope will pay your rent? We don't waste time on charity cases.
Yusei set the vase on the velvet cloth. It was unassuming, earth tones, slight cracks, nothing that screamed value.
Cheap, modern junk. You can find a dozen like this at any street market. Please leave.
Look again, please.
I've seen enough. This is an insult to this establishment. Get out before I call someone to remove you.
Without a word, Yusei lifted the vase and tilted it. The base caught a sliver of light, carved into the unglazed clay, a signature, Honma Genjiro, a name that had once moved the art world.
It can't be. That man, that signature. This changes everything. I must have been hasty. Please, let me give it a proper evaluation. Our shop is known for handling important pieces.
I came only to know its story, not to sell. I think I've heard enough.
You don't understand. Such a piece must be handled by experts. I'll even consign it. You'll get 90% of the auction price.
This woman sees only money, not the 40 years of my grandfather's hands. This vase won't become a bargaining chip. The vase isn't for sale. Its value isn't measured in yen. Excuse me. He turned and walked toward the door. Behind him, Yuko's composure finally shattered.
You are making a mistake. That vase belongs in the right hands. You'll crawl back here. I guarantee it.
The door clicked shut. Yuko's hand trembled as she grabbed her phone.
That boy has no idea what he's holding. I'll get that vase, even if I have to break a few rules.
Outside, Yusei shielded the vase from the wind. He didn't know it yet, but the trouble had only just begun. Back in his small apartment, Yusei set the vase on his living room shelf. It was the only thing his grandfather had left him. The search results flooded with reverence. Living national treasure, auction record of 42 million yen. The lost fourth vase. All those years, Grandpa never once boasted. He just made things. The article mentioned 4 signed pieces. The fourth had vanished from records in 1963. No photographs existed. This is it. The missing one. In my hands for 25 years, and I never knew. The weight of the vase suddenly felt heavier. It wasn't just clay. It was a piece of history. I can't let it become a commodity. I need to protect it. His phone vibrated on the table. The screen flashed an unknown number, but Yusei knew exactly who it was. She won't stop. I have to do something before she finds me again. He closed the laptop and stared at the vase. The first step was figuring out where it truly belonged. In a cluttered back alley shop, Yuko's call reached a man who never refused shady work. Muraki listened with a greasy grin.
A lost Genjiro vase? This job will pay for itself twice over.
That evening, a knock echoed through Yusei's apartment. The man outside wore a cheap suit and an even cheaper smile.
Good evening. I am a collector of artisan pottery. I heard you might have a piece by Honma Genjiro. I'll pay 50,000 yen, cash.
No collector shows up unannounced. This is her doing. I am sorry, but I am not interested in selling. The vase has personal value.
Personal value? For 50,000 yen, you could buy a replacement. This is just a vase.
It's not. Now, please leave.
Stubborn kid. I'll just have to find another way.
Yusei locked the door and leaned against it. The vase couldn't stay here. He had to move it tonight. Yusei reopened his laptop and searched for a museum associated with his grandfather's name. The Homura Regional Museum appeared, the town where Genjiro had worked. This is the place. They'll know what to do.
Homura Regional Museum. This is Assistant Curator Chinatsu. How can I help you? A signed Hanma piece. Are you certain? We've been searching for the missing fourth vase for decades.
I am sure. I want to verify its authenticity and maybe find a safe place for it. But I am not selling.
Of course. Please bring it tomorrow. I saw your family's memorial special on television. Your grandfather's legacy deserves preservation.
For the first time since the shop, Yusei let out a slow breath. Someone understood. Miles away, Yuko's phone buzzed with a message from her informant. He contacted the Homura Museum.
So he's running to the museum. I'll make sure that vase never reaches their display case.
The next morning, Yusei wrapped the vase in thick cloth and slipped out before dawn. He didn't see the dark sedan parked down the street. The Homura Regional Museum stood serene among old cherry trees, a world away from Aoyama's gilded shelves. Yusei stepped inside, clutching the cloth-wrapped vase.
You must be Yusei. I recognized you right away. We watched your family's memorial program at the staff meeting last year. Onma Genjiro's work is practically sacred here. Please, follow me to the examination room.
Inside a quiet room, Chinatsu pulled on white cotton gloves and accepted the vase. Her touch was reverent. She lifted it carefully, angling the base under the lamp. The engraved characters caught the light.
This is it. The calligraphy matches Genjiro-sensei's cataloged works exactly. The fourth vase is real.
She isn't talking about Yen. She's talking about him.
Yusei, if you ever consider entrusting this vase to a museum, we could protect it forever. No auction, no private collection, just his story.
I need to think about it, but thank you. You are the first person who's actually seen my grandfather in it. In that sunlit room, the vase felt closer to home than any shelf ever provided. And for the first time, Yusei wasn't alone. Yuko's call reached Director Kojima's private line. She spun a lie with practiced ease.
Director Kojima, a priceless vase was stolen from my shop. The thief is a young man named Yusei. He contacted your curator.
Kojima's expression hardened. A theft allegation against a Hanma piece was too serious to dismiss.
If this is true, the museum could be complicit. I need answers from that young man directly.
That evening, Yusei's phone rang. The caller ID displayed Homura Museum, but the voice was not Chinatsu's.
Mr. Yusei, this is Director Kojima. A dealer claims you stole the Hanma vase from her shop. I must ask for proof of ownership immediately.
She's trying to bury me. I have no deed, no receipt, nothing but my word. That's a lie. The vase was my grandfather's. He gave it to my mother. I'll find something to prove it.
Yusei, I just heard from Kojima. I believe you completely. We'll find a photo, a letter, anything that proves it's yours.
The sanctuary had turned into a trap. If Yusei failed to prove ownership, the museum would be forced to refuse the vase. That night, Yusei tore through storage boxes. Somewhere in the clutter, proof had to exist. An old letter surfaced. The vase I made for your wedding, may it hold flowers forever. Signed Genjiro. It mentions a vase, but not this specific piece. The museum would want more. A photograph fell from an album, his mother holding the vase on her wedding day. Unmistakable shape. This proves I grew up with it, but not that Genjiro made it. Yuko's lie could still win.
A letter and photo may not be enough, but the old house, his studio, might have records. You have to go.
The old house. I'll leave at dawn. It's our last chance. Before sunrise, Yuko gave an interview to reporter Hoshino. The story hit the front page. Headline: Museum targeted by antique thief. Honma vase stolen. Readers sharpened their judgment. Yusei packed the vase. He slipped out as the headlines were being read. The old Hanma house waited at the end of a forgotten lane, its wooden gates half hidden by wild wisteria. I used to run through this gate as a kid. Even then, it felt like Grandpa was always watching. Inside the dusty attic, Chinatsu flicked on the bare bulb. Stacks of labeled boxes covered every corner. That box has the Hanma label and a lock. I still have the key my mother kept on her chain. He slid the small copper key into the lock. It turned with a clean click, as if it had been waiting. Inside rested a leather-bound journal, its pages filled with Genjiro's meticulous handwriting. The entry read, 1960, 4th vase, wedded clay for my wife's memory, a family piece, not for sale, not for fame, only for home. He never once tried to sell it. It was ours, and now the world will know.
You say, this is irrefutable. His own hand wrote it. Yuko's accusation won't survive this journal.
They carried the journal out of the silent house. The proof they needed was now in their hands. But the fight wasn't over yet. At the museum, Director Kojima turned each page of the journal with a scholar's care. The handwriting was unmistakable.
This matches Genjiro's catalog letters perfectly. The entry about the 4th vase is definitive.
It says, for home, not for sale. Yuko's claim that he stole it makes no sense.
The museum contacted the police. But without a confession, the investigation crawled. Yuko denied everything.
That journal's a fabrication. I'd never mistake a Hanma. He must have stolen it years ago.
She called Hoshino again, feeding the reporter a story of forgery and deceit.
The Onma vase controversy intensifies. Both the dealer and the heir claim ownership. The public demands answers.
Online, comments turned vicious. He looks suspicious. Why wait so long to come forward? Yusei's name was dragged through the mud. Even with his own words, they still assume I am the villain. Is truth ever enough? The museum suspended the donation process, waiting for the police to decide. The vase hung in limbo, its fate tied to a single journal's credibility. Muraki watched the news with growing dread. He'd been seen. The police were sniffing around his shop.
Hello, police. I have a recording. Aoyama's owner told me to get that vase by any means. I want to cooperate.
Within hours, officers stood in Yuko's shop. The recording played, her cold voice instructing Muraki to acquire the vase at any cost.
That's out of context. He's lying. I never instructed theft.
Chinatsu convinced Yusei to face the cameras. Let them hear your grandfather's words, not the headlines. The 4th vase. Wedded clay for my wife's memory. Not for sale, not for fame, only for home. My grandfather wrote that. I read it so the world knows. This vase isn't treasure. It's a love letter he wrote in clay. And I'll protect it like he did.
This was no ordinary press event. The young heir read his grandfather's words, and the room fell silent.
Social media shifted. Comments like, he's protecting his family's heart, replaced the old insults.
They're starting to believe. The police have Muraki's recording. Yuko won't be able to talk her way out.
Police cars lined the street outside, Aoyama and Tikix. Yuko's reign of lies was about to end. Inside, Yuko was led out in handcuffs. Her jade necklace caught the light one last time before she was taken away. Headline, Aoyama dealer arrested for fraud. Onma vase proven heir's heirloom. The truth finally made the front page.
Mr. Yusei, on behalf of the museum, I apologize for the doubt. The journal is genuine. The vase is yours. The museum formally accepts your donation. The 4th vase will have a place of honor here.
Chinatsu, I don't want this to be a simple transaction. Would you help me curate the exhibit?
I'd be honored. Let's make sure every visitor knows the love behind that clay.
The weight lifted. For the first time, the vase wasn't a burden. It was a beginning. The museum prepared a special enclosure, and Yusei's grandfather's vase finally stood where it belonged. But the real story wasn't about the vase anymore. It was about two people starting to build something together. Day after day, Yusei and Chinatsu worked side by side in the museum archives, cataloging every detail of Hanma Genjiro's works. She knows every firing technique, every glaze. I am learning more about Grandpa from her than from his journal.
I made too much lunch. Want some? My mother always packs enough for a small army.
You always say that. You are trying to feed me every day. Director Kojima often paused at the archive door, watching the two work in comfortable sync.
Excellent teamwork. The exhibit will be something special with the two of you.
Genjiro-sensei used a wood kiln that took 3 days to fire. The ash created natural glaze patterns.
3 days. He put that much of himself into every piece. After hours, they strolled through the museum's grand hall, the sky outside fading to indigo. Their shadows stretched together across the marble floor. Neither noticed how close their hands hung. The museum received a formal request from a national television station. They wanted to film a documentary featuring the Hanma vase and its heir. A documentary I don't know how to be on camera. What if I freeze up?
You already gave a press conference that silenced a room full of reporters. This is just a bigger room, and I'll be right off camera.
On filming day, bright lights transformed the museum gallery. The crew set up cameras around the vase's display. My grandfather once wrote that clay remembers every hand that shapes it. I think love leaves a mark too. And this vase is full of it. Chinatsu stood in the wings, her eyes glistening. He was no longer just the vase's guardian. He was its voice. The director called cut, and for a moment the set was silent. Then the crew applauded.
The documentary aired to record ratings. Viewers from all over Japan wrote in, moved by the story of love preserved in clay.
The Homura Museum saw a surge in visitors, all wanting to see the vase that had sparked such a nationwide stir. He was terrified, but it was worth it. For Grandpa, and for her. The court found Yuko guilty of fraud and attempted theft. Her antique dealer license was permanently revoked.
Everything I built wiped out. And that boy never even wanted the money.
Headline: Aoyama dealer sentenced. Fraud and false accusation. Suspended term. The empire crumbled. The Aoyama sign came down. Her shop stood empty, a monument to greed. Yusei watched the news report from his sofa. The remote rested in his hand, unused. I thought I'd feel satisfied, but it's just empty. She lost everything for nothing. On screen, Yuko was escorted out again, head bowed. No jade necklace this time. He pressed the power button. The screen went black. The chapter was closed. Now, I can focus on what matters. The unveiling, the museum, and her. The unveiling ceremony was only days away. The vase would finally have its permanent home. The night before the unveiling, the museum was empty. Only Yusei and Chinatsu remained, checking final details.
The angle is perfect. The signature will glow like it's alive tomorrow.
In the break room, they shared a simple dinner. Onigiri and lukewarm coffee, but it felt like a feast.
Yusei, you never gave up. Not on the vase. Not on the truth. Your grandfather would be proud.
She's the reason I kept going. But tonight is too important. I can't distract her. I keep thinking of the speech. What if I forget the words?
You've spoken from your heart before. That's all anyone wants to hear.
Chinatsu, I thank you for everything.
We're a team. Tomorrow, we'll make your grandfather's memory shine.
As they cleared the table, their hands met briefly, reaching for a cup. The touch lingered, a quiet promise neither voiced. The morning sun streamed into the packed museum hall. Every seat was filled, cameras at the ready.
Today we honor Hanma Genjiro, a living national treasure, and his grandson who protected a piece of art that refused to become a commodity.
Yusei rose from his seat. His pulse hammered, but his grip on the speech notes was steady. This vase was never meant for a museum. It was a wedding gift from a potter to his wife, kept in a living room for decades. I am donating it today, but not as a one-time gesture. Every year on his death anniversary, I will contribute a new piece to this museum, so his craft never stops giving. He lifted the cloth. The vase shone under 3 spotlights, the signature glowing like a small sun. Applause erupted. Cameras clicked. The 4th Honma vase had finally found its home.
He did it. That was the real Genjiro spirit.
Today, a modest heir transformed a family heirloom into a national legacy. The vase we once called worthless is now priceless.
After the ceremony, Yusei stood alone before the vase, but something had shifted. He was no longer its guardian, but its partner. As the last guests departed, Yusei spotted Chinatsu in the moonlit garden, alone by the stone lanterns. Chinatsu, you've been more than a partner. You were the first person who believed in this vase, and in me. I don't want to just work alongside you. I want to be with you, every day.
I've been waiting for you to say that. I think I've loved you since you read that journal aloud.
Their hands clasped. The vase, glowing in the museum behind them, bore silent witness. Then, let's make a new promise. Every anniversary, a new piece. Together.
Together.
Under the full moon, they leaned into each other. Their first kiss was gentle, sealed by the same starlight that once lit his grandfather's workshop. The vase would become a national treasure. But in that moment, it was simply a love story, picked up where another had left off. The time for hiding was over. From now on, they would build a legacy together. In 1960, in a small wooden studio, Honma Genjiro shaped wet clay into a promise. He carved his signature into the base, not for fame, but for a love that never faded. But his wife passed before the glaze dried. The vase became a keepsake of a love interrupted. Years later, he handed it to his son, Yusei's father, with a folded letter. Keep this. It holds all the love I couldn't speak. When you find your own, pass it on. In the quiet museum, Yusei held the journal, seeing the entry anew. He wasn't just an artist. He was a man who loved deeply and lost. Chinatsu placed her hand over his. The warmth of her fingers said what words could not.
He'd be so proud, you say. You've carried his heart further than he ever dreamed.
The vase now held 3 generations of love. Genjiro's, his son's, and now theirs. 1 year later, in a sunlit workshop, Yusei settled at the potter's wheel, his hands remembering lessons the clay never forgot, his fingers pressed with gentle certainty, shaping the wet earth into something that honored the past. A small tea bowl emerged, simple, glazed in earthy greens and browns. His first creation. This is for you, Grandpa. I'll keep bringing them every year. On the anniversary of Genjiro's death, Yusei stepped into the museum, the tea bowl held against his chest.
Yusei, I knew you'd keep your promise.
I said I would. This is the first.
The Hanma collection now includes your own hand. Your grandfather would be proud.
And so the annual tradition took root. Each year, a new vessel from Yusei's hands would find a home here, outside. Cherry blossoms fell like soft snow as they walked together, the museum behind them now holding the start of his own legacy. The Onma family pottery wing opened to a gentle hum. No fanfare, just ceramics that whispered across the years. Under a single spotlight, Yusei's tea bowl stood beside Genjiro's vase, 2 vessels bound by the same silent promise. On Chinatsu's left hand, a new silver ring caught the light. An engagement no headline covered, but one the museum celebrated. Yusei and Chinatsu stood before the display, her arm linked through his. The vase watched over them like an ancestor. A young girl in the visiting crowd pointed at the vase. "Why does it glow like that?" she whispered. Her mother leaned down. Because someone put all the love they had inside it, and it never stopped shining.
That's what Denjiro-sensei taught us all. Love doesn't fade, it shapes the clay and the heart.
The vase's signature glowed as if it agreed. Worthless pottery, once mocked, had become the heart of a living story. Outside, the world moved on. Inside, the legacy was anchored in clay for anyone willing to listen. And when the last visitor left, the 2 who started it all remained, hand in hand, just like the clay and the signature. The signature on the base had once been called worthless pottery. Now it was scripture. In the end, a simple ceramic vase became a symbol of love, artistry, and a promise kept. Yusei and Chinatsu walked through the museum together, as they always would. Her ring caught the last ray of evening, and somewhere, Genjiro's hands rested in the clay forever. The vase that started as a wedding gift now held 3 generations of devotion. It would never be sold. It would never be lost. It would always be home. And in the quiet museum, the Hanma collection waited for the next offering. But for now, they walked on, the museum a sanctuary behind them, the signature glowing on. The story didn't end. It simply found new hands to shape it, and love, like clay, remembered everything.